Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean. Good afternoon, 5.8G Tribe. It is time. It's 5.8G Alive from Connections 50 Plus. Welcome. My name is Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite. I am one of the co-creators of this wonderful show. And with me as usual,
I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus. Good evening and welcome.
Well, listen, Jennifer, cost of happiness is warming up and waxing up. Yes. Last week, we thought spirituality gave us something to talk about, but last week it was money and finances and ooh. But you know, Jan, one thing people are beginning to realize is that we really have to take control of ourselves, our environment, so that at the end of the day, we can be happy. And that's why I'm so happy about this series.
Yeah, it's really going great. And this week, of course, we're talking about healthy lifestyle. And you know, we have some really experts to chat with us about it. But Terry-Ann, you know, it's really important for us to be happy, to find ways to be happy. You know, I was thinking I got some information this week that really set me in a different mood, and quickly I had to say, I'm not going down that route. Let me look for things to do to keep me, you know, to put a smile on my face. And of course, I have to show off. I decided to do my garden. You know, and I was just happy doing that. And in doing it, of course, I didn't even think of that news I got. So we have to find ways to make ourselves happy.
And so often, Jennifer, the cost of our happiness is zero. I really hope people are realizing that the cost of happiness is a free thing, and it is all about the decisions that we make for ourselves. It is the decisions we make for ourselves, and how much we want to spend on being happy is really up to us. And you could decide on not spending any money on being happy, but I can be happiest just based on what we think. So today we are getting into now, we would have looked at your emotional well-being, we would have looked at your spirituality, we would have looked at money, but hey, this is a body and we have to carry it and it carries us. So we are exploring your physical well-being and your general, how do you keep yourself in good condition so that you can be happy. So let's hop over to being in tune again.
Hi, as mentioned a little while ago, we said we are having these guests, and we're going to be continuing to talk about the cost of happiness. But this time we are talking about a healthy lifestyle, a healthy and active lifestyle for the 5.8G cohort. So we have, you're seeing here, a lovely young lady. You want to know what she's doing here because she's so young. And you will see next to her a gentleman who looks just like her. So we have a beautiful team here with Ken Charles, and Ken is in our cohort. And he will just chat when we start a chat, tell you a little more about himself. But with him, we have Zulema Charles. And Zulema, for the younger ones, I'm not sure about the older ones, but the younger ones will recognize Zulema as the former twice bodybuilder representing Trinidad and Tobago. She looks small, but you should see her when you see the pics, you know. And Zulema is also a physical trainer, Zulema has her own new company, Easy Fit, and she is a health coach and also passion for movement. And you know, at this stage, we are all about being active and moving. So we welcome here our guest Zulema and her dad Ken Charles. So welcome to
Thank you for having
our
us.
show.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So let me start with Ken by asking you, we talk about the cost of happiness. What does happiness mean to you?
In terms of this particular program, we are focusing here on happiness in terms of health.
Yes, yeah.
Having no ailments at this age is it's quite a bonus, not having the burden of disease. So that in itself is quite freeing, and it makes you comfortable. All right. So happiness to me is freedom from illness.
Wow. Ken, I must congratulate you for being at this stage. I know you're going to be 70 soon. You're going to reach my age on Saturday. Happy birthday in advance. But it's really what you're saying, and we admit throughout our shows when we chat with different guests. Yes, we have to be more conscious of our health, what we eat. Unfortunately, and you mentioned it there, is that sometimes it's only when we reach this age, we retire and we leave the workplace, we feel you now have time, and I know Zulema will take up on that. We now finding the time to exercise. When the aches and pains start and we being diagnosed with all the various lifestyle illnesses you just called, then we say, oh, we should have maybe drank more water, we should have exercised more, we should have left all the sugars, etc., alcohol, and all these things. Zulema, I just wanted to throw it to you here as more of the health expert. Is it too late sometimes? Is it too late, or can we still backtrack and get back to that healthy stage?
No, it's never too late. You may be starting at a little more disadvantage, but it's never too late. And I always think that you shouldn't always try. You should just not give up and say, well, this is the road I'm going on. If you really want to make a difference, you know, you have to realize you have to stop what you're doing and really make some serious adjustments, and it can improve. I've seen it in my work. Someone has come to me with back pain. They started exercising, they started moving, they don't have back pain anymore. So it's not that it has started and you let it continue. It's really deciding to put an end to it and saying enough is enough and doing something to actively change your situation. Yeah.
Ariane, you want to come in here?
Yeah, I think one of the issues we into our physical state now, and based on a lot of the discussions that we've had, you have people who are aware they have the lifestyle diseases, and it's the result of all the fun and you've had in your past life. So you're at this stage now. And many people get to a sort of, all right, well, woe is me, this is my lot in life. Right. The diabetes going to get me, the kidney going to get me.
Something has to get you.
Something.
And they go into a state of unhappiness because they are not willing to. So I think the challenge for where your happiness is compromised, where your physical well-being is concerned, your nutrition is concerned, is how do we get people motivated enough to act? And telling them is not enough because they know.
You are absolutely correct.
They know. All right?
They know. Yes.
At this age, what am I bothering for? Let me just enjoy the next 2 years.
Yeah. So it's finding things because you need to sticking with something is intrinsically motivated, right? You have to find something in the person's life where they really would like to make a change, or they want to make a change for something or for somebody that, you know, that would really motivate them to get started.
I love you to share it. This is nice.
Okay. So the first thing is I am a fussy eater. A girlfriend called very early this month and said, "Can you're going to be 70?" All right. And of course, you have no illness. But then you have always been a fussy eater.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, what does she mean by that? I think she meant that I have always been careful with my portion sizes.
Okay.
I have always been. I instinctively understood that I was not a very active person, and I never overate. I never ate too much. So I think that was one of the things. The other thing was, and Zulema brought it to my attention, I always had some green on my plate.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that came from a book that we had circulating in our department when I was inside one of those insurance companies called Fit for Life. I'm not too sure, but I
remember that, yeah.
And I think what the guy says is that if you cannot eat your food without drinking water or juice or whatever, some liquid to carry down, then you do not have enough vegetables in your plate.
Okay.
So I took up the habit of eating my food without water, without juice, because that is the standard practice. And therefore, I always had vegetables in my plate. The other thing is that it's particular, I am regular. I like to be regular.
Yeah.
I believe that you have to go every single day.
Yeah.
If I don't go a day, I adjust my diet. It has more vegetables, more fruit in it. So I go the next day. It is religious. I also like butter. Since I'm working, I have never bought margarine. It has had margarine in my house, but I like butter. I like cheese. I never bothered with the people who say, "Well, get your fat." And because I never got fat. So I say that's for them. So I always eat butter. I grew up with margarine because that is what mommy bought. But since I am working, I buy butter, and I always buy butter. Again, Zulema would tell you what are the consequences of those little decisions. And so Zulema would come and we'd try and tie back these, what I would call unconscious little things that I did that landed me here, where I could say, I am in fairly good health. And having done that research too, I could almost certainly say I'll be here for a long time if I apply what I have learned, what I have discovered. All right.
So I have been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been where, because of the bodybuilding, diet becomes very constricted. Yes. So I have done these restrictive diets, right? And I try to carry that on to my everyday life. And I realize that's not living, right? So now I advocate for more of a balance. Yes. And I think that works for, the general public. You want to be able to enjoy things. You want to be able to have your ice cream. You want to be able to have your coconut drop. But at the same time, you want to maintain some level, corral the amount in which you're eating, right? So what I like to say, what I've noticed is that we are trying to feel full on these white carbohydrates. So for example, if you go and buy food, instead of putting vegetables, you would lay the entire box with rice or noodles, right? And so what I'm trying to advocate is that when you go to buy these foods, there are healthy choices there. So for example, the guy in front of me will put macaroni pie, rice, potato salad, a little bit of meat, and then to make it feel really good, a little sliver of greens, a little sliver of salad, and 2 pieces of tomato. In that same lineup, you have callaloo, you have peas. So a healthier box could have been your potato, callaloo, peas, your meat, and your salad. You didn't need to do 3 carbohydrates, a macaroni salad, rice, and potato. So what I'm saying, lunch. Right. But here's the problem. We are now eating Sunday lunch every day. So now that is throwing off your balance. So if you're eating properly during the week, yes, on the weekend, you can have your little ice cream and your coconut drop. But if you're eating Sunday lunch, Monday to Sunday, that is where the imbalance comes in. So people, we're not saying that you can't have your little sweets and your fun, but that means you really have to balance it out. Yes. So eating sensibly will allow you to, and allow your body to quicker not respond in such an adverse way to when you're having your fun. Yeah. But what is happening? We're having fun 24/7. Yes. Fun. Yes. So that's it. So balance. Yes. So it doesn't have to be super restrictive, but you have to watch your portions. Yeah. Your portions and the arrangement of your food. Right? Make sure you have greens on your plate, your beans on your plate. You can't just have purely carbohydrates and meat and sauce. Right? So yeah, basically.
I think one of the issues that really bedevil us, and I always say a little bit of information or too much information, and most people cannot process information. And it is that fundamentally, and I spent time in the food industry and so on, and most people honestly believe that if something is described as a salad, it is good for you. So that many people believe that meal of macaroni pie, potato salad, and macaroni salad is bad.
Or it was salad, right?
No, it is a real thing. Okay. And the other thing that people don't understand is what happens to food in the body, so that they understand that at the end of the day, the body absorbs 3 things. It absorbs glucose, and every carbohydrate converts to glucose. It absorbs amino acids, and every protein converts to that, and it absorbs lipids, and everything fat goes to that. So I think what sometimes we ourselves need to put some effort into trying to educate ourselves about what food group is this thing. So is macaroni salad a carbohydrate, a protein, or a fat? Is that big piece of stew, that big bowl of stew pork with a 1/4 inch of the rendered fat floating on top? Yes, it's a combination of protein and fat, but how much? And I think sometimes people, and I really believe that and I can ask you this, Zulema, how easy is it for the average person to get information that allows them to make a good choice when they're faced with the food court, which is where they're going to get their meal?
All right. So
people have to, our group have to take responsibility. We have to understand, right? We have all these lifestyle diseases. You have to make the effort. You have to make the effort to understand what the food groups are.
Totally.
You have sent your children to school, ask them. There are only 3 food groups: carbohydrates, proteins,
And
and
fats.
fat.
That's
There
it.
are only three. All right? Every time you have a meal, what food group is this? You're at home. What food group is that? And after a while, if you are interested, you would learn. If you think it is sufficiently important. So it is up to you to understand that your health is dependent on what you eat. You are what you eat.
Yep.
So if you do not understand that, then you could eat anything, right? And then whatever you get, that's how it happens. And it happened by guess. And I don't know.
Let me put a scenario here that I think could take people into the future, because we are here. You're 50, you're 60, you're 70, and you know possibly you could live to 95 or 100. Let's say 90. Let's say 90. All right. So the 80-year-old has 10 more years. The 70-year-old has 20. The 60-year-old has 30.
Fair.
And for those who feel hopeless, there's a statistic that is generally accepted, and Zulema, you may know this, that at the end of the day, the body, our fantastic body, replaces most of the cells. It's just the brain cells and some nerve cells every 7 to 10 years. So it is very possible that starting today, if you change how you eat, in 7 to 10 years time, you can have a whole new healthy, like a brand new baby you.
That's what I said in the beginning. You have to encourage the change. That's because you can't just sit down and be like, well, it's my lot. It can't happen.
Yeah.
Right?
So the thing about it, if we now say we've identified that, and Ken, you're so right. At the end of the day, everything that you put into your body converts to glucose because it's a carb. It converts to aminos because it's a protein. Or it converts to lipids because it's a fat. What kind of proportion should a person aim for in their regular meals? And I'm assuming, all right, I know nothing. I am now 3 times, I am morbidly obese, my pressure bad, a diabetic, I have everything. So to start simply, if I am to start changing, what kinds of portions should I put in my mouth in the day? Not a plate, because
let me butt in here. All right. And it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
What you need to do is to put some vegetables in your plate. Half of your plate should be vegetables.
Yeah.
Broccoli, cauliflower, sweet pepper, cucumber.
Not provision. Say not provision.
Provisions are not really vegetables. They are root crops. All right. They are not vegetables. All right. So all the green things, all the things that you don't like, all the things that when you normally take your plate and you have the smallest portion of that and you put it just at the side. So it's just like a little appetizer. That has to become half.
Well, then you have your carbohydrates, maybe a quarter carbohydrates. And
what would you call carbohydrates? So we're not assuming.
So yes. All right. So
carbohydrates could be plenty yam and thing on one side.
Right. So carbohydrates could be refined or unrefined, right? They can either break down quickly or slowly.
Okay.
And you're looking to try and get the ones that break down a little slower, right? So it does not spike your insulin response, right? So you could keep a nice steady blood sugar level. So
that's like what?
Right. So we're talking about the provisions, the sweet potato. Those things break down a little slower, right? Or beans as well, peas and beans, yes? And then you have your protein. So that's really what your plate is like. And like I said, I now advocate for balance because I have been on a super restrictive diet. And if the thing is, depending on where you are in life, if you are suffering from a critical illness, you may have to really clamp down to really see the benefits of the change of your lifestyle, right? So you really may have to cut out the pillow if you are so,
But that's not the average person. The average person is not, we're not talking to the person who has a critical illness. We're talking to a person who
So
is
what
becoming
I
aware.
advocate is, yes, you can have a pillow. Like I said, it's a balance. So if you are eating well most of the times, having some rice, having a piece of pizza on a weekend is not going to completely throw you off.
Yeah.
It's just if you eat well the majority of the time, then you have more leeway to play with.
Yeah.
So it is, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I like the idea, and I'm looking at time to get to something else that Ken brought in, which I think is so critical to our well-being, because we've dealt with new nutrition. Half the plate is vegetables, quarter is protein, animal or vegetable, and quarter is your carbohydrates.
Yeah.
But he mentioned two other things. We talked about exercise, but sleep.
And
Sleep for well-being. And I put sleep and stress, sleep stroke stress. How do those things go into contributing to your physical and physiological well-being and therefore your happiness?
Well, they call it the 3 pillars of health. So it's diet, exercise, and sleep. Yeah.
Sleep, stroke, stress. I'm not leaving stress out.
So sleep, stroke,
stress.
Well, if you poor diet does add to stress, and your sleep will add to stress, and if you're not exercising, it will add to stress. So all those 3 pillars, if you don't have them incorrectly, it does add to stress. So it's not just the lack of sleep causes stress. Yeah. Basically, your lack of sleep affects your immunity one time. And honestly, that is a pillar for me that I have to work on. And I do feel it. From the time I do not get enough sleep, I literally feel I catch things. I'm able to, I could pick up things more. I feel more tired. My cognitive function goes. I can't remember. I'm looking for my glasses on my face. I do see what happens when you do not get enough sleep. Yes. And you just feel more, you're not able to handle your day. You just feel more irritable. You feel, things upset you more. So in terms of mentally, you just get agitated, more easily, right? So sleep is very important because it does, if you're agitated, you're stressed, you're already stressed. Yeah, so sleep is quite important. Yeah.
And I think if your body is not well rested, you don't function generally.
You don't function well. You can't, your memory starts to, like, I noticed that my memory goes. When I say goes, I can't, like I said, that always happens. I'm like, my glasses, it's on my face and I'm looking for it, right? Or I can't remember where I put my keys. Just simple things. And it's from a lack of sleep. And I think that is so telling, and this is at my age. So I could imagine what happens as you get older, right? So yeah, sleep should not be overlooked at all. Yes, quality sleep.
So before we close off, and although we touch a bit on the physical, again, is the thinking of our cohort that at this stage, that we can't do all this jumping and twisting and all these things. What you want something, yes, you want movement, but you want to really have some happiness while you do it.
At this stage, as you say, your tribe, at this stage, your tribe really should be focusing on maintaining their independence, their mobility, and their range of motion, right? So it's not about, as you see, doing push-up, like a
jumping jacks. And
jumping jacks. We're looking for low to moderate impact exercises that can help you with stability, because as you get older, the risk of falling gets right? So basically, you're looking at things to strengthen your joints, strengthen your muscles, increase your cardiovascular ability. You don't have to do jumping jacks or burpees or whatever, but you do need to increase the capability of your heart function and your respiratory function. That ability for your body to become efficient with oxygen in terms of the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen in your body. That's what exercise does. It makes you more efficient with oxygen. So you get up, you walk 10 steps, you're winded. And with exercise, you realize you could do 20 steps and you're not winded. That is your body becoming more efficient with oxygen. Yes, so it helps with that. Yeah, your cardiovascular abilities increase. So you have well lubricated joints and muscles. You have your cardiovascular abilities increase. And this is just from low impact. This could be just from walking. This is nothing, like I said, nothing intense, no high intensity exercising, right? This is just consistent, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Well, actually, studies say 150 minutes per week. So that's 2.5 hours over a week of exercise can get you these benefits. Yes, it doesn't have to be an hour. It could be 15 minutes each day to add up to 150. Yes. Again, it helps with your balance, your range of motion, your flexibility. It's just so beneficial, and you don't think that you have to be doing these incredibly intense exercises to reap the benefits of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Estarian?
No. I think that is so understanding for us in as we go forward. A lot of people really tend to think, oh my God, you want me to do this, and you want me to deprive myself of that, and I know that the information is there, but the fact is that our cohort is not tech savvy. We are reluctant to, we don't trust YouTube, we don't trust this, we don't trust that, and that it's simple information as to what does your plate look like. Half of it being vegetables, not the provision. Quarter of it being starches, what you would call macaroni pie. If you want rice, macaroni pie, potato salad, and pizza, put it on 1/4 of the plate. And then the other quarter being your proteins, and understanding that peas and beans are in that protein corner. The red beans and stuff like that. So it has to go in with the gravy and the meat. And I think we don't talk a lot about sleep.
Yeah.
Because many of us, after we spend the day essentially sedentary, we because of the issues, circulation, the leg swelling the night, the kidney, the diabetes, the headache, the stress, and we just stay up worrying about children, parents. We take on everybody's worry, and we don't sleep, because when you ask a lot of people how much hours they sleep at night, they're telling you 4 hours, and they think that's good. But they are failing to let their bodies repair and replenish itself.
Yeah. And that's what
sometimes
happens.
that is the thing you need to do as you start. Just go and sleep. Continue eating what you're eating, but go and sleep. And deal with that stress. And I think it's not hard to start. Too often, I think we start at the hard part, which is deprive yourself of food, which is pleasure, and go and exercise. I've done very overweight, my joints bad, you want me to exercise, and we give up. And it makes it difficult. So I think that it's really important for people to understand how the broad spectrum of physical health and well-being, how easy it can be. Go and sleep.
Yeah. I would say to anyone who really wants to start, don't think all or nothing. You don't have to completely, I think gradual introduction. So yes, we're saying half your plate. That's where you want to get to. But if you're not used to eating vegetables, start with 1/4 of the plate. Start.
Yeah, and move up.
You don't have to be like, if you can't get half, well, too bad, right? Start with just getting up, walking down the street. Just start. 1 spoon. Just start implementing these changes. You don't have to go full 100, right? And what happens is that you allow yourself mentally to adjust. You allow your body to adjust. And so it's a nice, smoother process in terms of, and then you thinking, instead of you thinking it's a complete overhaul and your whole life gone, and right? So just gradual. You don't have to completely change out your life. Just start with these little incremental changes and see where it goes.
You have to advocate for yourself. I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes. Diabetes is reversible. That is already full.
I have a story to confirm what you're saying. My mother was an insulin-dependent diabetic. She was an insulin-dependent diabetic who was having insulin shots every single day. Because of an accident, she ended up in the hospital for 12 days or 10 days like that. And they changed around her regime. that unless her sugar level reached a certain level, she would get no insulin, but they changed her diet. And in those 10 days, and with the new guidelines of her sugar, when she came out and was in recovery, we continued the patch. We didn't change anything that she ate. It's just different proportions. The plate was just rearranged. And that happened in October. We are in June now. In March of this year, her doctor said, she is not diabetic. Stop the insulin, stop everything. Continue now. She lost all of her extra body fat. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, she magra. But she was healthy because you're accustomed seeing her with the extra body fat. But she was declared free of diabetes. She has not had insulin injections since she went into that hospital. And she eats everything that she's accustomed eating. She has a real Creole palate, but proportions are different. And it just shows you, that's October to now. That's 9 months.
Yeah.
So it says, it really
is diabetic. It is a nutritional problem.
Yep.
You are not going to treat it with drugs. Drugs are going to help you control it. Yeah. But you are not. So therefore, you have to make these changes. Yeah. So if you're diabetic, as we are saying, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to make the commitment.
Well, I'm up in hospital until they change it.
You have to. Otherwise, I can't help you. I could talk from now to never worry. I can't help you. You have to make change.
I think what we have to do is present information to persons in ways that's easy for them to take in and assimilate, because I don't believe anybody does not want to be healthy. But I think that information is presented in a way that is challenging for people to absorb. And our cohort is not tech savvy. They cannot go into that world of the digital world, and they don't know what question to ask. So they don't know what to ask Dr. Google to get the information.
Because can this, I'm happy and I'm looking, I know the time, Terry, and looking at the time. So I am in total agreement. Ken, what I will say is that, and this is what we're doing on our show. This is why we have this 5.8G, to connect with our cohort and let them know, listen, we have to change our mindset. And having guests like you all on, who could put it, who live, you live in it, Ken. You showing it's not just talk. You share the different steps, you share what you have to do. It's about taking responsibility and action in terms of not just talk. You're not just sitting back. And although you have Zulema there, he said you're not dependent on her to guide you. You could give us some tips about aging. So yes, I am in total agreement about taking responsibility, understanding that this is the stage we are at, and Terry Ann mentioned we could 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, in some cases my mom turned 100 and she in good health, she happy, so we can do it. And I learned from her, which is one, she managed her hypertension for her whole life since I know her. And she managed it through exercise, always walking. And Ken said it, portions on what she eat up to today, So yeah, it was great hearing, and it's for our listeners to put things in action.
But
take responsibility.
We need to have Zulema just give us I know
just
you
wrap
have
up.
a company, ZFit. Zulema, you could just tell us a bit about your company, what you do.
Okay, sure. Well, with ZFit, I like I said, I am studying to be an orthopedic exercise specialist. And what I found happening, I was training people around my age, and I started getting older clients. So my oldest client is 72 years old. So I actually do have your tribe. I actually have 55 to 72. And of course, so I definitely, and which is why I'm studying, I had to change up my training method. Obviously, I cannot train them like a 20-year-old, right? So, and I also then had to realize that there are different needs, and they the needs are different to a 20-year-old. And like I said, it's mobility, flexibility, stability, and maintaining your independence and moving without pain or stiffness. Yeah, so basically, if you contact me, well, I always sit down, well, regardless of the age, you sit down with the clients, figure out where they're at and what they would like to get from the program. Someone could just be general stiffness. Somebody could be coming in with an autoimmune. Somebody could be coming in post-surgery and rehab. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. I can't give someone who just has a general stiffness the same program as someone who's recovering from hip surgery. So it has to be specialized and personalized. So I do personalized programs to help you get to the standard that you were, or get back to where you were. So that's what I do.
And do you have social media presence?
I do have a social media presence. So it's TTZFit on Facebook or Instagram. Yes. And also my contact number, my business number is 721-8729. Or you can email me at ttzfit@gmail.com.
Great. Great, Jen.
Yes, so at this stage, Ken, any last words? I know you said a lot, but your advice?
Any last words? What have I left out here? Any last words? I have a lot of last words.
No, but you only have about a minute.
Well,
Thanks so much.
My last words is
A minute.
my last words are, don't think that because you are at this age that this is your lot and that's it.
Yeah.
As people say, I have to die from something. No, you have the right to live well and live healthy and live in a mobile, independent state.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do that, right? It's not about just going down. You can live a pain-free, stiffness-free life.
Yeah.
And so make just, again, not cold turkey, just making these small changes, like just walking 15 minutes a day, or starting to put a little more vegetables on your plate will go a long way than you just not doing anything at all. So just think of one thing. Okay, I'm going to add more vegetables. Okay, I'm going to start eating a little more provision. Just one thing.
Sleep.
And then you
Sleep.
and sleep. Yes, Sherry.
Sleep.
And sleep. Yes, one sleep. And just these things you would realize do add up, and you start feeling better. And those things is what helps you, encourages you to stay on the path and continuing on that journey. So that's my 2 cents.
Great
Ken's
advice.
last words. Ken's last words.
I would think if there's one thing you can do is to cut the amount of sugar in your diet. And sugar is white flour. Sugar is white rice. If you must eat white rice, how about cooking your white rice in coconut milk? I cook my white rice in 2 cups of coconut milk. Why? Because I have a lot of fat inside there with the white rice, which is pure carbohydrates. The fat is going to make the carbohydrates really slower, so you don't get a spike. It's going to make you feel fuller. You're going to eat less, all right? Put less carbohydrates and put more fat. But then you will have the other problem with the cholesterol story. But we're not going to go there. But basically, get the sugar and whatever we define as sugar, carbohydrates, the easily consumed one?
Well, the processed carbohydrates.
The processed carbohydrates?
The white processed carbohydrates. So the macaroni, the pasta, the white rice. Yes.
Get them out. Get them out. You would be surprised. You would be surprised. Just that one change. Because sugar drives all those diseases.
I will go with the sugar. I agree, Ken, and thank you for that. I'm not sure about our audience when you tell them cut out the macaroni pie and thing, but we leave that alone. They take responsibility and they will know what portion.
Sleep and go for
So-
a 15-minute walk. That's my solution.
So again, I mean, it was really great just chatting. You shared a lot of information was shared here. And I'm sure our audience listening will have learned a lot. And of course, they have Zulema number they can call for professional consultation. You know, so we thank you so much. Ken, happy birthday and remain healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I
having
enjoyed
us.
it.
And let me say one thing, and I agree with you totally. Having someone to push you along, you know, to keep saying, remember to do this, or for years, I had a walking partner, for years.
Indeed.
And, you know, when she went away, because of the habit for over the years, I continued on my own. But you see that start, you need that somebody to, as we say, champion you on.
Mhm.
And make you, you know, say all the motivation things to keep you going. So that I want to just highlight that also. It's important to have someone to call you, say, let's walk, or what you have on that plate, or send you that meal. Yeah. Okay. So that's it.
Thank you.
So bye for now.
All right,
Yeah.
bye.
Yes.
Jennifer, I like that discussion. It was not the typical discussion that we normally have, but certainly Ken and Zulema brought home some important points for us all.
No, definitely having a balance with Ken, who is very health conscious, very disciplined. And again, that, you know what, we need to take responsibility. All different aspects of our lives, we need to take responsibility for. And we heard it from early, from the time we started this series, how important it is for us to take responsibility for our lives, you know? So that for me came out, of course, in addition with, if we want to stay healthy, we have to do certain things, you know? And it was brought out so nicely, both by Zulema and by Ken with his lifestyle, you know, to each his own. And he shared how he deals with his life and turning 70, the decisions he has made.
Yeah. You know, I think it's so important. It's not difficult. And as we were saying before, sometimes information is presented in a way that we know what not to do, but not what to do. And at the end of the day, we want to remind you, they're really just about 3 pillars. It's your nutrition and just rearrange your plate. You know, your vegetables, your proteins, and your carbohydrates. Rearrange your plate. Move. Let's not say exercise. Move more. Just walk around the house. Move more. And do not forget, go and sleep. Go and sleep. 1 hour more. Stay in the
Carry on, sleep sounding like that's number one for you, you know, if you have that in
Listen, a lot. If you talk to many,
if you prioritize, you put in sleep as number one.
Rest for me, it is movement and rest and sleep. And I will do my best to eat well, but I'm not putting something that I don't like in my mouth. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I am a foodie, that's how I am. So I am going to make sure that I move and I am rested. I have to, and if I can't sleep, I will stay in the bed and have a glass of wine to help me sleep.
And relax.
It's so important. Jen, I know you go on the food side of it. You're much more disciplined than I am.
I on my plate are things that I don't like, but I know to be good for me. I'm very particular with portions. You know, so I do all the 3. I rest. I definitely, you know, I'm one could go in my bed very early. Have enough rest, I watch my portions, and I exercise. Definitely not perfect, but I am focused. As I said, take responsibility for my health, and I try to focus on the things that I should do to maintain my health. And as you say, we're all different. We all,
Yeah.
our bodies built up differently.
I
So
wanna
we have to be
say one
aware of
thing.
that.
I want to say one thing that just in case people misinterpret what I say. The reason that I can have the opinion that I have about food is that I cook my own meals. I
Yeah.
very rarely eat out. I cook 2 or 3 full meals a day. That
And that
action
makes a difference,
alone makes
Tarian.
a huge difference
Mhm.
because I control what goes into my foods.
Yeah.
So while you may hear me say that I am not eating anything that is not tasting good, it is because I am cooking my
You're
own
doing
food.
your cooking.
So
Yeah.
I am a very peculiar and particular eater. I don't eat. I think most restaurants I cook better than them. That's why I don't waste money going to restaurants.
And Terry, you make sure you very fresh vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they say, from the garden to the pot.
I have a
Yeah.
garden. I practice
Yeah.
farm to table. So
You do that, yeah.
don't think that my position on food is a simplistic one at all. Don't think that. A lot of effort goes into it. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
And
just
you go to the market for all your stuff. Yeah.
Yep. I buy in bulk, I process, I have a freezer full of all kinds of things, and I just love to cook and find different ways to. So just a balance, so people don't think that I run it into restaurants and run into buy. If I'm not into that at all. I'm not into that at all. If I eat out in a restaurant 3 times a year, I've done
Yes.
a lot. So just when I'm under stress, you will see me go into a restaurant, but to get fast Chinese or something. But that is not going to happen more than twice in a week. And probably will happen once every 10 months. So, but Jennifer, it is so important. I think what I really hope that people get from this is that it is, and then that little fact that your body reproduces itself essentially in 7 to 10 years. Listen, we have time.
Yeah.
Even if you have accumulated 50, 60 years of bad habits, you have time to begin gradually now. As Zulema said, just put some more vegetables on the plate. Walk 15 minutes around the house, rest an extra hour, start to do stuff and give yourself a 7-year or 10-year cycle to see how your body changes. You know, it will be for the better. It will be for the better.
This is not time to give up. Yeah.
No. And it's never too much or too hopeless. So we really hope you all are saying that the cost of your total happiness is, Jennifer and I want to be the poster for happiness. No stress. Move well. I'm not using the word exercise. I'm saying move. And being really careful about what we put into our mouths. Being careful. I advocate going to your kitchen and cook your own food. And Jennifer gets friendly with every restaurant that understands how to do food well.
Oh, yeah. I'm very particular. I'm not, I make my choices.
Yeah. And then Jennifer, I will say, because you're cooking, and the other thing, people, again, to not confuse this issue, our family circumstance is different. I have a family of 4 to feed, and 3 of the 4 are grown men. I cannot afford to eat out. To buy food for them.
Well, eating out, and when I say eat out, Terry, and
but for a single person,
I just
Jennifer,
buy,
it's more economical. It's
and
more
when I go,
economical.
I would just buy a portion. I do the vegetables all the time.
Yeah.
So by the time I buy a portion of vegetables, I don't have to have rice. I just have vegetables.
Yeah.
One piece, because I'm not into the meats. So I just use a piece of chicken or, some things, and that's it. So I will only have 3 of whatever, a portion maybe of the vegetables, a portion of either the rice or some other type of a salad.
And that feeds you for 2
and
days.
a meat. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So I do the three
Yeah.
in small portions. And sometimes that lasts me, it could last 2 days, it all depends.
Yeah.
And
And
I
it's much
would
cheaper than
add
groceries.
something. Yeah, but I may add something onto it,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
So if I buy something, I always have to do a quick vegetables, some peas, something to go with it.
Yeah.
So as you said, quite rightly, you have to look at your family situation. It's me alone, and that way I could be more disciplined with what I eat. If I had a family to serve, I can't be the small portion of thing just because of this is what I feel I should have.
Yeah, you can buy prepared foods. I have to go to the grocery.
Yeah, no, there's a big difference. And then again, you have to look at where you're buying it. It's not just going anywhere, because you don't want something, when you look at it, you could see the grease all on top. But no.
Yeah.
So as you say, you look at your situation, you look at your health challenges also,
Yes.
to know what to do. And as I share again, I would not choose some things in my house because I believe I need to drink more water. If I have a family here with me, I can't do that, you know.
Yeah, when your
if I have
granddaughter
guests,
is
then
there.
I would go and
If
buy.
your
I
granddaughter
would
is
go,
there,
no, when
you
I have
different
guests,
things.
I would have things.
Yeah.
And for the grants, I buy the small packs too, so I'm not going to drink that.
Yeah.
So you have to know.
It all comes back, Jennifer, to the fact that we remain in control, and
Oh yes,
you cannot give that responsibility to anybody else. It is your health, your happiness, your money, your spirituality, your well-being. It's yours, and you have to take control, and it will happen. It will happen.
yeah. Make that choice. Make some wise choices.
Okay. So Jen, that's it for In Tune. Okay, tomorrow, everybody knows tomorrow is our big day with our cruise. Sorry if you're not registered, it's cut off. But we just wanted to see a little bit of what you'll be missing. So here's a glimpse of the menu and some of the things. We will be having a great time. And we just want to remind you that you just keep in tune with us. We're going to continue having events, and we're going to make our tribe a vibrant one. So take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.
Yes.
50+ Tribe, and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.